Hi everyone, it's Charlotte here today and I'm going to be doing a video on why I love guinea pigs. So I got my first ever pair of guinea pigs, Raspberry and Kiwi, who were just short-haired guinea pigs, but Kiwi had a little crest on her head. I'll insert some pictures now if you'd like to see. But I had those two for a while and I got those around probably when I was in my early teens, so probably around 15 or 16 I think I got them. So I'd never had guinea pigs before. We'd always had just bunnies in the house. My mum was always a bit dubious about having animals because she knew how hard it was to lose them, so she didn't really want us to go through that. But anyway, so we had guinea pigs and then I had the first two, and then around probably a year later or 2 years later I decided to get 3 more. So I didn't introduce them in together, I actually had them in separate cages, and the 3 at the top were all long haired. Now that's when I kind of started to realise that guinea pigs do come in different breeds and all these different like shapes and colours and sizes and all this crazy fur and everything. So that was one of the reasons why I started to love guinea pigs as well, because I just loved their hair and all the different breeds and stuff. So I got those 3 and they were called Fizz, Madison and Snowbelle. So Madison, I think looking back, I think she was a Texel, so she was a black Texel. Again, I will insert pictures on the screen. Yeah, she was definitely, I think she was definitely a Texel or possibly a Merino. And then we had Snowbelle, who was the pure white one, and she had a bit of beige around her eyes. So I think she was an Abyssinian cross Peruvian, or just maybe an Abyssinian, but they were a lot more fluffy than the normal Abyssinians. That's why I think Peruvian was crossed. And then I had Fizz, who was definitely more Peruvian than Snowbelle. So she had like crazy ginger fur and she was just so adorable, because actually at the time we did buy them from a local pet shop who I must say I did work experience with and are really good. Fizz, Madison and Snowbelle, I had those for a while, and then one day I came upstairs and I saw this extra little white guinea pig and I thought, hang on, am I going crazy? So I called my mum and her boyfriend and they both came upstairs to check, and I wasn't in fact going crazy, but Snowbelle had a baby. So Snowbelle had one little baby who I called Tinkerbell. Now Tinkerbell was a lethal guinea pig, so I don't know if any of you know about those, I'm sure a lot of you do, but lethal guinea pigs are generally pure white, they have red eyes or even like really small eyes or no eyes at all. They are like a mutated gene guinea pig and they have a lot of problems. They generally don't live very long, they have a lot of problems with their teeth, and a lot of them die in the first like couple of weeks of being born. So Tinkerbell did last a good long while. She kept going and everything, and she was relatively healthy, but she was blind, so the other piggies did pick on her a bit, so she had to be separated from them. Unfortunately at the time I did give those up to a local rescue and I feel awful about it now, but that's what happened. And Raspberry and Kiwi also at that time, they went to my friend Becca, who I met through college when I did animal care. She took Kiwi and Raspberry and they lived with another guinea pig that Becca had, because unfortunately she lost her guinea pigs. And then they also had chickens, and the guinea pigs got on with chickens as well. And I will insert pictures of Raspberry and Kiwi of the updated photos I got from Becca a good few years ago now. So they were living the life of Riley, they had a garden and everything, whereas where I'm living we don't actually have access to a garden or grass or anything, so the girls weren't really getting as much. Plus at the time I had them in much smaller cages than I would do now, because we all learn that the bigger the cage the better. Anyway, that's when I had my first guinea pigs. Unfortunately Madison did pass away quite quickly after having her. I'm a bit teary now, but yeah, she did die, so that was really sad. Madison was probably my favourite. She had a lot of personality. She reminded me a lot of Arabella actually. She was quite bossy, but she was really sweet, so that was really sad to lose her. So after getting my first guinea pigs and everything, I had a good break of, trying to think. I've had the girls, the big girls, Clara and Arabella, I've had them nearly 2 years now. So there was a break of at least like 5 or 7 years since I've had guinea pigs before. Now I've always kind of like, during that time, always been into guinea pigs, and my mum would always get me like guinea pig related stuff. So I've always thought they're really, really cute ever since having them the first time. And then when I decided to get Clara and Arabella about 2 years ago, that's around the time that, about 6 months prior to that, I had a Pomeranian dog called Harriet. Now Harriet was the joy of my life, and she was so adorable. And I haven't really mentioned on this channel, but I suffer with depression and anxiety, and during that time when I had Harriet, that was kind of like when I was going really downhill. So Harriet was like my little rock, and like she was always there with me, and she was always so cheerful and always made me smile. Unfortunately, circumstances changed when I had to move back in with my mum. Now my mum has 3 dogs of herself, well including Button, who's technically mine from when I was a teenager and everything. Button and Dylan got on with her fine, but Walter had real territorial issues, really aggressive when she would come in the house, and he attacked her. So in the end we had to unfortunately rehome her, which was probably one of the hardest things I've had to do. Especially when I was probably at my lowest, and it was not really the best time to be doing that. But she's now living with a family in London who have daughters, 3 daughters, and they absolutely spoil her and take her out for walks all the time. And she has a little papillon boyfriend, which is just adorable. And I've heard loads of things and had photo updates as well. I'll probably insert some photos now of her as well. But anyway, so when I lost Harriet and all my depression and stuff was really getting bad, I eventually got some guinea pigs, which are Clara and Arabella. Now also around that time I was diagnosed with arthritis in my right ankle, so it's always swollen and I can't walk for very long, and I can't do a lot. Like I wouldn't be able to have a dog obviously because I can't walk them, so that was a big thing to deal with, and I didn't appreciate getting the diagnosis really. So I also needed kind of like an animal that I could look after and watch and everything, but wasn't going to require much strain on my ankle and everything like that. So that's why I decided also guinea pigs were probably going to be the best thing for me. Since having like everything, like all those issues and everything, and then having the guinea pigs, they mean so much to me. They're just adorable little bundles, and I love to just sit and watch them, and it kind of relaxes me. Now another reason why I love guinea pigs is because of their complete cuteness and their personalities. Now every guinea pig is completely different. Arabella is the bossiest little thing you'll ever meet. She's just really funny and she's got her certain particular ways. And then Clara is just the sweetest little guinea pig. She's so sweet and so kind, well kind, and so soft. And she's just a real little sweetheart, and she always melts my heart. So I've got a really special thing with Clara, and she's just adorable. Now with Daphne, she is a little bit more feisty than Clara, but she is still just so sweet in comparison to Arabella. Arabella can be really sweet, but generally you have to get her in the right mood, whereas Daphne, she's just adorable. And since she's about a year younger than the other two, she's got a lot more energy than them, and she runs around the cage like a nutter and does her little popcorns and everything, so she's really fun to watch as well. So like I said before, they always bring a smile to my face, and I just adore having them, and I would do anything really for them. I think, as you can all probably tell, I go a bit overboard at some things, but you know, we only live once, and I just think it's worth it for them. So that's really why I love guinea pigs. Now I'm hoping you can see them okay. It's been a right task to try and get them in shot, but also have all 3 of them, and for them not to be squeaking at me because they're not happy about being in a line like this. So I'll get on with this really quickly. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope to speak to you in my next one. Bye!